Hey there, comic book fans. I'm back from the comic shop this week with 12 comics. That's a lot. I had 10 on my pull list, and I pulled 2 off the shelf. And I think I may have, when the final order cutoff came in, I may have decided not to get those 2, but then I saw them and was like, I can get them. First, we'll show you our top of the printer books. We have got The Drowners by Nabil Kanan. I'm not even sure who that is, but this is a 4-issue series from him with a couple of covers in it I like, and that was one of them. I may even had made the other one a cover that I had a couple of years ago, but I pulled that one out. I forgot to look up who this one is by. Is this Nick Cardy? I don't remember. Justice League number 102. It's funny because I got in my head I wanted a Superman cover, and this one immediately popped into my head. I'm like, let me see if this is a Justice League. I had a vague memory of this Justice League Superman cover, so I grabbed it, kept it on my printer all week, looked at these two as I walked by. Oh, another thing I got, if you saw my Mr. X video from a couple days ago, you know I got a lot of Mr. X stuff. Well, another one came in the mail today. It was only like $8. I'd forgotten these are small ones. There's this week's Spawn. I've forgotten that Dark Horse put out these smaller ones. Now, I was never a fan of the smaller size. This one I showed in that other video. Got 2 of them, and I guess this says 1 and 3 on it, so there's a 2 I have to get. This one has a sticker on it. I'll have to take that off with good old Bestine rubber cement thinner. I'll take that off, but I'll do that. But even though I'm not a fan of this smaller size, and I actually have these as individual issues, I look forward to reading them in this side. And I already read the Howard Chaykin the Howard Chaykin introduction, which was very good. I enjoyed that introduction. It gave me a little more insight into Mr. X and Dean Motter, and Howard Chaykin. So I enjoyed that one. You just saw me hold up Spawn. What number is this? 343. Still only $2.99. Nice cover. At least a nice drawing. Sometimes this cover isn't very eye-catching to me, but when you look up close at it, it's a pretty nice little drawing. Not bad. But this has been a solid book. Rory McConville, Todd McFarlane, additional script in this one. But Rory McConville has been the writer on it, and Carlos Barberi has been the artist. So, big Spawn war, lots of spawns fighting spawns. Let's see what. This is a facsimile edition. My Greatest Adventures is number 80. Number 80, the first Doom Patrol. Introducing the Doom Patrol, 100 toy soldiers. There's a facsimile edition, so it's an exact. Is this one? This one looks pretty well. There was that one Wonder Woman one that looked like blurry scans they printed. This one doesn't quite look as sharp as it should, because you can still see, like in his face, the old dots. Wonder why they don't have a recolored digital version of this, but it looks better than the Wonder Woman one. But this still is not what a facsimile should look like in terms of its printing, because DC was good at archiving its stuff. I can't believe they lost stats of pages, but I just got it because, I love these facsimile. There's even, how much was this one? $4? $4. There's even a $6 foil cover version. I didn't get that. I don't like the Doom Patrol that much. Matter of fact, I barely like the Doom Patrol, but I like the facsimiles. Speaking of facsimiles, here is Incredible Hulk 180 facsimile. And I already have one of them. They come out with a new printing of it. I'm going to say printed on and around. Nope, doesn't say. Manufactured between 6/02/2023 and 6/12/2023. But I got this one just because I have all my facsimiles in a box over there. And I decided, since they're coming out with another printing, I wanted to get one and put it in with my Hulks. I got this one just a file away with my other Hulks. There's a collector for you. Even though I'm more of a reader than a collector, I'm still a collector. Then what do we got? Love Everlasting, issue number 9. This series has just been good. Like I said, I don't know when it's going to end, but it's cool. It's about a woman who has trapped in a romance comic, as far as she knows. It's always it wasn't always 1963. First, she jumped, or the first, I don't know, 3, 4, 5 issues, she jumped around from plot line to plot line. Sometimes there were 3 romance comic stories in the issue. And then 3 or 4 issues ago, she settled down into this one storyline. She can't figure out how to get out of it. And she's married to a man. She settled down because she thought marrying him would make her leave that story and go into the next one, because that one had a happy ending. But it hasn't done that. She ended up in the madhouse sometimes. And it's always, despite years going by, it's still always 1963 to her. And only her. So it's been a fun story, and the art is just terrific. What's her name? Elsa Charretier. Tom King writes it. But the art really sells this one for me. So, then we've got Junk Rabbit, issue number 4. I believe I was told this is only going 5 issues. So, Jimmy Robinson's Junk Rabbit. I guess you'd call it post-apocalyptic, but there was no real apocalypse. Things just deteriorated until there's the haves and the have-nots. And the haves live inside domed cities, and the have-nots lived outside them. And the Junk Rabbit was some sort of, I don't know if Junk Rabbit looks like a person in a suit, pretty dead. But we didn't know if the Junk Rabbit was a person or a thing or some mythical story or whatever. But it's been good. It's been a good little series. Howard Chaykin's Hey Kids Comics, Volume 3. This is the fictional retelling of the history of comics. It jumps around from the 40s to the 50s to the 60s to the 90s. And there's thinly veiled versions of everyone. There's the cast. And what did we say? Arista, that's a new one. Verve is Marvel Comics. YC, Yankee Comics is DC Comics. Then there's one that's EC Comics too. Continue. Oh, here's one, Turret Comics. I bet that's Tower with that T. See what's continued in the back. Stuck in the Lobby. Here's like Ray Clark, I know, is Gil Kane. And then there's other people who are... Noah Gitlin. I think that was Neil Adams. Noah Gitlin. And there's a thinly veiled version of Howard Chaykin in here, too. It's been fun. Volume 3. What is this? Issue 4, did I say? Yeah, issue 4. So only 2 issues left of it. And I don't think there's any volume 4. Grimm, number 11. Stephanie Phillips, Flaviano, Rico Renzi. There's a whole bunch of Grim Reapers who collect the dead, and all sorts of things happened in the afterlife, and now, whoa, party! One of the Grim Reapers has to take the main character, whatever her name is there that I don't remember. I think she has to take over for death now or something. So there's a lot of afterlife lore in it. And Swan Songs, Maxwell Prince is the writer. He writes Ice Cream Man. Martin Simmons is drawing this issue. Oh, he must be the Department of Truth guy, because that sure looks like his work. And I think there's going to be a different artist each issue. I think it's a mini-series, maybe 6 issues I think I read. I can't even remember. But I like Maxwell J. Prince's writing. I like the idea of him recruiting his buddies to each do a different issue. So that's sort of what Mark Miller just did with the Ambassadors. So I'm down with that. I'll check it out. Then we've got No One, issue 4. Look, it now says Massive Verse up there. I didn't know they were branding that. Oop, just under the image eye. Who's doing this? Writer Kyle Higgins and Brian Buccellato. The artist is Geraldo Borges. Colorist Mark Englert. Letterer Hassan Atsami Elohau. This is kind of a police procedural. A superhero police procedural. At least there's a superhero periphery, or maybe he's a supervillain on the periphery. We're not really sure. But it's been good. I'm not a fan of the giant logo covers, but what the heck? Ooh, look, another issue of Monstrous, 45. Things have been happening fastly and furiously in this comic recently, as a whole bunch of plot lines are coming to head, and some of the main characters have gone over into this other world where the monsters come from and gotten captive, and the monsters are threatening to break out of their own world, and the wizard cat people are all I couldn't make sense to you of this plot if I tried. It's been going on for 45 issues with one storyline, pretty much. So, and here's one I picked up off the shelf. Weird Work by Shaky Kane is doing the art, and Jordan Thomas is the writer. And this was one I picked off the shelf. I remember I think this was one when the Final Order Cutoff came out. I'm like, I kind of like Shaky Kane's artwork, but I already had 10 comics this week, so I was like, so I think I ended up not pre-ordering it, but there was a copy there, and I was like, all right, I'll get it. Nice cover on this one. I guess they killed all those monsters. Oh, there's the back cover that gives you a little cops, cults, crooks, and corruption. Okay. It's weird work, but someone's got to do it. And it's 18 months since Lady Haste, the head of crime in Stellar City, was locked up, creating bloody mayhem on the streets. Things have started to get back to normal. Well, as normal as is possible in Septimus Prime's capital. That is, until washed-up detective Ovra Saucy is woken by a phone call. 3 dead bodies found in a warehouse on the wrong side of town. A crooked cult leader, a tech billionaire's right-hand woman, and Ovra's corrupt partner. Things just got weird. That's what they want you to know about the book, so I figured I'd let you know. And this is the other one I picked up off the shelf. Tula Lute, Barnstormers. And this is one I was like, I want to see this one first. Only because I just don't like Dark Horse physical comics. They just make the worst physical comics. But this one actually has a cover stock to it. It's $5.99. It's probably about 48 pages. It's heavy. So I was like, I want to see the physical comic before I get it. But I like the Tula Lute artwork. I have no idea what it's about besides Barnstormers. Who's writing it? It's Scott Snyder is writing it, but I would have bought it no matter who wrote it if Tula Lute is doing the artwork, because I'll check it out. So there you go. Let me show you a little what I did this week. Oh, there we go. Dreams of Things 194 we got done. With this tall woman in purple. Is it a person? Is it a hat? Is it a person? Is it a hat? I don't. What? That person's a balloon. What's going on in this crazy cover? I don't know, but I'm really enjoying the new markers I got. Just looking at this right now on screen, I can see the different colors I'm using. Like this yellow I didn't have before last month, so that's a new yellow for me, along with this purple right here, new purple. So it's fun to see the new colors going on. And I also, here's another one back here. This is one of my Gatsby drawings. I'm still working on that. And I just kind of did, this one just kind of came out of me. I did this sort of beach scene, even though Gatsby has a lawn that leads to a beach, so sort of lawn beach, and then sky, and then water sky, and then even with my Gatsby stuff, I gotta go weird. But this kind of came out of, I had an idea. I want to do some great Gatsby illustrations in an Archie Comics style. And I'm not quite there, but this is kind of one of the things that came out of that idea. But we'll have to see if I can get some Gatsby stuff done in an Archie Comics style. All right, some comic books, some artwork, and you guys have a good week out there.